friends. Well, this week I had a very interesting thought about my artist journey and our target market. And because I know these days it's very important for an artist to share their journey and for people to be able to relate to them along the way. And so I thought, because this is a good starting place for my blog. And I said, well, for my blog, for a while I'll probably do shorter videos that on similar topics that I'll put on my blog here on the main channel, and then eventually I'll try to expand the topic to make like a podcast, and probably add different things. So we'll revisit this topic again probably on the blog, but I'm just getting started here, getting my feet wet. So I'm talking about my artist journey, just in brief right here. Well, I thought of it this week because I happened upon a couple of YouTube videos of some other women who were making art videos. And I couldn't relate to them because their story was so different from mine. And so I thought, well, I got to tell my story, and then the people who have something in common with me will find me. And there's probably more people like me that are struggling than these women who are able to get success fairly quickly. Well, anyhow, this one main one I was watching, she started off by saying how that she was working a regular job, and then she had decided that the regular job was taking up all her time, so she didn't have time for herself because she was tired, she couldn't work on her art, and it was sapping her creativity, and she just didn't like that. So she decided, her husband told her she could quit and devote herself full-time to art. Now, a few things I had to say about that. First of all, her saying that, working in their 9-to-5 job was sapping her creative spirit. She didn't have time to do art, and, she wasn't being true to herself and everything. Okay. The rest of us artists feel that way too. We do not quit our jobs because we are purposefully trying to stifle our creativity or hurt ourselves as artists. Most of us work regular jobs because we need the money. Okay? So it's not like the rest of... So to me, I took that as so basically she was accusing us, rest of us artists, of not being sincere or genuine, and we were, just trading our time to make the boss rich, and we were, hurting ourselves and stuff. So I'm like, no, that's not why. The rest of us artists, we would love to just stay at home and work on our art, and that's our ultimate dream. But when we're starting out, we're going to need to do regular jobs, and it's going to be slower progress probably to our goals because we need the regular job, and you still have to live your life. Even if you try, I've tried not to have a life, but even if you try not to have a life, you're still going to have one or two friends that you have to see once in a while. You're still going to have some social events you have to attend. You're still going to have relatives. You still have to clean the house. You still have to cook. You still have to get decorated for holidays. You still have to have a life, even though you try not to have a life to devote to your art. But okay, so that was my first point. Yes, so I took a little bit of offense at her acting like the rest of us are not sincere if we don't quit our jobs and go full-time into art. Okay, so basically I need my money from my job to fund my art. I need it to buy my microphone. I need it to buy the license for singing a song and publishing on CD Baby. I need my job to pay my internet bill every month so I can work online and keep dreaming and keep learning. So okay, so I didn't like when she said that. Then second of all, then she said her husband told her she could quit and devote herself full-time to art. And that is another thing. That is not a luxury, I would say, a majority of us artists have. It's awesome if the one income in the family is enough. And I don't think this woman had children. I think she was sort of young. But I know that for me, single woman, I have had phenomenal support from my parents and my brother over the years, and they have enabled me to live a little bit of a nomadic life as I keep trying and working toward my art. So I really appreciate that. But I mean, I wasn't just going to not work at all. So and even so, I still didn't have, money was still never enough. So and I said, I know other single women and single men probably have even tougher time than me, because they may not have a supportive family that is helping to sponsor them in their creative endeavors. So despite having my family sponsoring me, things were still tough and tight and still not able to proceed very quickly. So, and also, I said, I imagine there are lots of single moms out there who are artists as well, and they have to have their job and they don't have a lot of support. So, I mean, like I said, the best story I heard, I think I heard it on the Creative Pen, Joanna Penn's podcast. One of her guests told a story of someone who was in one of his writing groups. And it said there was this single mom who worked 2 or 3 jobs, and she wanted to be a writer. And the only time she had was 15 minutes before bed, after she put her child to bed, and she had 15 minutes to herself before she had to go to bed. So in that time, she worked on her novel, a little bit every day. So, choking up. Art triumphs over all. And eventually, she finished her book, and in this case, it ended up being a successful novel. And she was able to get out of the grind. Okay. Art triumphs over all. But, so that, I think, is really inspiring story. So showing that if you are really, no matter how tough or how adverse your circumstances are, you can bounce back and you can find even a teeny weeny itty bitty spot of time to put into your art, and you can achieve and make your dreams come true. So yes, I'm all about dreams, and dreams coming true just makes me tear up. But anyhow. And then, okay, so we have the single women who are in the single men who aren't able to quit their job to devote themselves full time to art. Then we have single parents, that's a lot more responsibility and a lot more expense. So we have that, and then we also have couples who both have to work to support to keep their home. I mean, maybe they don't have children, but they both have to work. And of course, and there are couples who have children, and they still both have to work because, maybe the husband's income is not enough to support the family, and both need to work. And there are different circumstances that make things difficult for people. There are obstacles, financial, illnesses and all kind of things. So there are different obstacles. So I felt that the woman's channel that I was watching there, she was portraying the path to artistic devotion and success as rather simplistic. I mean, it's nice that she had an easy path, but a lot of people, even couples that are not able to make it on a single income, and maybe they still want to be artists. So something with that broad demographic here of everybody who's struggling financially and wants to be artists but still has to work, that's going to be my target market here, because that's me. That's my journey. My journey is struggling financially and struggling to achieve as an artist. And like I said, I hope I make it. Well, I guess if I work long enough and hard enough. I mean, you could say I have made it in some ways. I mean, my YouTube channel is reasonably successful, but my dream is to earn a living, with my art at least, before I dream about the millions. So we're going to focus in my blog and on how those of us who are struggling with jobs to pay the bills and having to live life can fit in our art and still achieve our goals. And yes, I know. I mean, even my job, it's a part-time job, but it pays more than minimum wage. So it's a pretty good job, but it's still not enough. I'm in hock to the dentist for a couple of $1,000s for a couple crowns I needed last year. So even just because you're making more than minimum wage doesn't mean, even so much over it doesn't mean you have enough money for everything. And yeah, life happens. So we're going to focus on the blog here, and so that's who I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to artists who have jobs, struggle financially, struggle with learning business, and we're all in this boat together, and we're just going to follow the path. And I'm a multi-creative artist, because I want to do everything. I want to write, to sing, to make music, to make cartoons. I will learn to draw. I don't know about dancing. That's never been my strong point. But I'm very creative, and I want to learn everything. Comic strips, and it's fun and exciting. It's a way to make life interesting, go through different hobbies, and there's just so many opportunities out there that, and yes, like I said, I'm into so many of the arts that I'm just going to do different times. We're going to do projects. You're going to watch me do projects on my blog, like a participatory and inspirational artistic blog. So, for all those of you who have the same story as me, same struggling story, struggling basically your whole life, basically my whole life. I am 40, and life begins at 40. So, and of course, if you're younger, don't get discouraged. Your path might be a little faster than mine, because technology is improving, and there's always more opportunities coming down. And we just got to keep our eyes open and keep optimistic and not give up on our dreams. Alright, thank you for watching, and just watch this space. I'll get my blog going up here pretty soon. Okay, you take care. Talk to you later. Have a wonderful day.